Hi guys, my name is Madinah, and today I'll be talking to you about how parents with substance abuse problems, how that affects a child. The title of my presentation today is Struggling to Be Heard. I specifically picked this title because I myself experienced a parent with substance abuse, and my main struggle was to be listened to, to be heard. And a lot of this is because a person with a substance abuse problem tends to be in their own head, and they don't know how to communicate with people around them. And sadly, this reflects heavily on a child because they don't understand what their parent is going through. And a lot of times this reflects on themselves and makes them become very insecure because they think that the reason that their parent is having certain outbursts is to certain situations is because of them. It's estimated that there are 12% of children in this country that live with a parent who is dependent upon either drugs or alcohol. 8.3 million children under the age of 18 have lived with at least one parent who is dependent upon some form of a substance. Of these children, 7.3 lived with a parent who was dependent upon alcohol, and 2.2 million lived with a parent who is dependent upon drugs. These are very harsh facts that you wish you could do something about, but sadly you cannot. You can, take your part in society and do what you can to help, but a lot of it is out of our hands. In families where alcohol or other drugs are being abused, behavior is frequently unpredictable and communication is unclear. Family is characterized by chaos and unpredictability and can range from a loving environment to a withdrawn environment to an absolutely crazy environment. There is no structure, and if there are any rules, they are extremely inconsistent, which leads to a child not being able to have a predictable environment, and without a pattern, they don't know how to learn anything. And a child who doesn't understand their parents' mood, will feel extremely confused and insecure. A lot of times, the child wants to blame themselves for the parent's substance abuse. And many times, because of the abuse, they feel frightened because oftentimes it leads to physical and sexual violence. And with this, a lot of times children struggle with social life at school because of the insecurities and poor mental health that they have because of the abuse at home. There are many behavioral consequences for children who have parents with a problem with substance abuse. In any home where this is frequent, it's completely interrupts a child's normal development and places them at high risk for emotional, physical, and mental health problems. Parents who do abuse drugs or alcohol are more likely to be involved with domestic violence, divorce, unemployment, anxiety, eating disorders, and suicide. And sadly, children in homes with parents with substance abuse are 3 to 4 times more likely to become addicted to alcohol or drugs. A child oftentimes reflects their environment, and if drug and alcohol abuse is the only learned behavior in the home, they are more likely to repeat that than they are to distance themselves from it. And Oftentimes, even if the children themselves are not victims of the direct violence, witnessing it can also have a very emotionally destructive consequence for them. This could be if the parent with the substance abuse is abusing the other parent at home. The child may not be physically experiencing the abuse, but by witnessing it, it's disrupting them emotionally.